Welcome back, everybody. Sive is here with ForexPeaceArmy.com. Let's update our unit gold market. So all the financial markets have reacted similar. On the failure of the negotiations, it was not actually the surprise. It hasn't become a surprise to us because we talked about this. And that was one of the risk factors that we considered in weekend when we prepared a trading plan for the next week. We said this might be downside reaction if it really will happen. But at the same time, you could see that gold is recovering really fast, as well as in euro currency, and in general I would say that it keeps bullish context valid. So in fact, if we wouldn't have this type of external factors, I'm sure that on Monday we would get the upside performance, upside open. Because if you take a look at the 4-time frame chart, here was our triangle, and actually the downside drop was only because of this news about the negotiations. Besides, as soon as we have been released, you can see the market immediately shows the upward recover and close the gap very fast. So in fact, instead of the upward breakout of the triangle, we've got Gartner's triple 2 buy pattern. This hasn't become a problem just because we anyway can't open the position in weekend. So this was just mostly interesting from the theoretical point of view. But for now, speaking about the practical point of view, you could see that in general, performance remains bullish. So market stubbornly doesn't want to show any deep retracement. Even minor breakout here was reversed really fast. So market has some upside tendency, so it's gravitating to the upside performance. We have hidden bullish divergence here with this performance, and currently in this point I wouldn't consider taking new shorts by far. Of course, everybody understands that anything could happen, and Donald Trump could start bombing in Twitter like a crazy, but actually just keep it possibility aside. By looking at the technical picture, it looks to me more bullish rather than bearish, especially with this pattern on the back. With the closer look at the lower time frames, we could find some other reasons to consider taking a long position here. So on the hourly chart, you could see that we're getting some sequence of the butterflies. Very often it happens on a free drive pattern, when you're getting two side-by-side butterflies that leads you to the top of the free drive. But I have calculated the extensions and they are not quite matched to each other. So it's not quite typical for the free drive pattern. But anyway, it doesn't change the other things. Here we've got we've got the butterfly yesterday, based on the Monday open, you can see. Currently, we could consider possible reverse head and shoulders pattern for a position taking. So if you'll see that market shows the pullback somewhere in an area of 47.30, 47.35, somewhere in the same area where it stands here. So that might be the right arm where we could consider taking the position, and this will be relatively small risk with this potential trade, and actually very close to the possible stop placement below these lows or even below the right arm, if you will rely on some particular patterns that are forming and will be formed on the bottom of the right arm. And at the same time, these hand and shoulders might become just the part of the bigger pattern. So you can see that in fact the whole hand and shoulders except the right arm might be the part of the butterfly. And once again, we're getting another one to the upside. So that's actually a few patterns that we could consider currently. At this point, the reaching of the 5K level as a resistance, and where we have the major target, as you can see on the 4-time frame chart, the XOP 4990 approximately, which agrees with the daily fib level 5020 approximately. I think that we should not take it off the table. So based on the performance, it looks pretty nice. Yes, maybe not as fast as we would like to see it, but in general, market trying to remain bullish, and currently I do not see any reasons to change this opinion. We do not have any clear bearish sign on the market right now. So let's just keep watching, and hopefully we will get the patterns that led us to step in with the minimum risk.